The wide receivers for the Carolina Panthers have been a bright spot so far in training camp, and in this video, I'm going to touch over the real competition that we've seen so far in training camp, and at the very end, touch over which one of these two wide receivers so far in training camp should make the roster. Before I get into that, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on post notifications because I'm enjoying Panthers content for the rest of training camp heading into the regular season, as preseason is just a week away. So just make sure you subscribe because I'm going to be giving consistent content out like this every single week. So let's get right into it. The wide receivers, man, one of the, in my opinion, the biggest bright spots so far in training camp. One of the rooms that have really taken hold of training camp so far and has taken that leap. There's players in this room that last season didn't show up at all and showing up so far in training camp. There's new additions that are definitely showing up. And it's just, as a whole, this room is taking hold of the entire football team right now. I feel like it's definitely a top 2 position so far in training camp, if not the best position so far in training camp. Every day they're showing up. Every day they're making plays. And it's not just 1 through 6. It's 1 through 7, 1 through 8. So it's very intriguing because, of course, as you know, in 2023, we didn't have any receivers make plays last year besides Adam Thielen, right? We signed DJ Chark last season to be that deep threat, but he didn't make plays but one every 4 weeks. So it was kind of a letdown there. But, and even with these new additions, it's also Adam Thielen is still making plays so far in training camp, as with these new additions with Deontay Johnson, Jonathan Mingo taking that lead, the addition of XL, right? But it's just so far this entire depth chart, 1 through 7, right? Not just 1 through 6. It's heading into training camp. Honestly, I'm going to be so serious. Heading into training camp, I don't know about you guys, but heading into training camp, I did not expect 7 guys to be competing at this level. I thought it was just going to be the 6 guys we know, and then, of course, TMJ at number 6 was going to be our 6th guy, but wasn't going to make plays, right? Even though, in my opinion, TMJ hasn't really taken that leap like other Panthers fans think he has so far in training camp, he still, is better than what he was his last couple of seasons and has made a couple plays here or there in portions of practice when we needed him to. So that's very intriguing as well. But I'm going to kind of go over the depth chart because I keep seeing depth chart, on Twitter, just Panther fans just making the depth chart so far. If training camp will end today, of course, it's not final. Of course, everything I say today could change in a week. So none of this really matters, but it's just kind of talking because, well, I think it matters because you're not really going to change my opinion. Whenever we get to the very end of this, you're not really going to change my opinion on what I think. But yeah, we'll touch on that next. But I feel like the depth chart for me is number 1, Deontay Johnson, of course, because he just so far in training camp, yes, he's struggled with JC on him, but he's also made plays with JC whenever JC was on him. And he just, you can see it, man. The route running's elite. The catching, he's dropped some balls in training camp so far, but he's been consistent on catching the ball a lot so far in training camp. So I feel like he's clear-cut our best receiver so far in training camp, but, and I don't think that's going to change. I think he's going to be the number 1 receiver because he's relatively young, and he just is the most talented receiver on the team so far. I think number 2 is Adam Thielen. I've seen Jonathan Mingo. Some people put him at number 2. I can understand why they did that, but I feel like he hasn't done that much for me to move him to number 2, especially because Adam Thielen's still our veteran. He's still our best hands guy so far in training camp, as he's made arguably the best catch in training camp so far, or the best catches in training camp so far. And he just gives you that veteran presence. So, in my opinion, I think he's there at number 2 still. And then number 3 would be Jonathan Mingo. I had no faith in Jonathan Mingo coming into training camp, as a lot of Panthers fans probably didn't. I just didn't know because his route running was still very stiff, even this offseason. So it was just very tough for me to have the confidence heading into training camp for him to take that leap in year 2. But it looks like he's doing it so far, which is very good. And I could see an opportunity where if he keeps this progression, he could be a number 2 receiver this season, sometime this regular season, and take over Adam Thielen. But in my opinion, I'm very high on Adam Thielen still. I see a lot of Panthers fans want to quick to put him down because he's old. But remember, last season he had 1,000 yards, right? I know he did it because he had to, but he still did it, right? He still did it at the age of 32 last season. So you got to know that there's still stuff there that you can work with, even with the 33-year-old Adam Thielen. But he still has great hands. I mean, you see in the training camp, he's still catching the ball. There's a bunch of plays where he looks like he's 25 out there with the ability to go up and catch the ball on one-on-ones, which is very intriguing as a guy who's your veteran. So that's my top 3. And then number 4 is Xavier Legette. He was my number 3 receiver heading into training camp. I would not be shocked if he still was. It's actually insane because I think XL's still going to be a very, very solid receiver this season. I see a lot of Panthers fans, writing him off so far because he's not, performing at the level they want him to. I'm going to say this right now. As I said this before, and I'm going to keep expressing this. Do not expect him to come in and make a statement as you want him to right away. I understand last season was so bad a receiver. You want a first-round pick, because we traded up, and you want him to come in and make that impact right away and be a top 3 receiver. But if Jonathan Mingo takes that leap still, as it looks like he's doing, and Deontay Johnson takes over that number 1 spot, Adam Thielen continues to, just be that slot guy, that very good veteran in the slot. Why do you want XL to be this guy that he's not, right? Because he's a rookie, right? And I understand people want him to be good so quickly. I want him to be good too because he has the traits. And that's the thing, it's different. It's like the reason why I'm not writing him off is because he has the traits. You see it in practice. He has the burst, he has the win off the line of scrimmage, he has the speed, he has the size, he has it all. I think he's just at a rookie wall right now where it's just, I don't think it's fair to expect him to, do it right away. Like, I think it's going to take a couple more practices for you to really see a day of just Xavier Legette, right? That day you saw Jonathan Mingo make plays all day, it's going to take, if not, it might not even happen all training camp, right? But my point is, it's going to take time. He's a rookie, right? It might even take a couple games into the season, but he will make an impact this season, which means you have four deep receivers, which is not something I thought of heading in training camp. I only thought we had a 2 deep receiver core with Deontay and Adam Thielen because, of course, Jonathan Mingo. I didn't know if he was going to take that year 2 leap in XL. He's a rookie. I did not put that expectation on him. So heading in training camp, I thought we were going to only have a 2 deep receiver core. But seeing Jonathan Mingo take that leap and knowing XL has those traits, and even number 5 with Amir Smith-Marset, I've expressed this also as well, like in my receiver breakdown. We know he gives us stuff in the screen game and the jet sweep game, all that. So I wanted to see that leap in training camp as a receiving threat. And it looks like he's doing that because he's made plays in the receiving game so far in training camp, which is very, very intriguing. As all know, I love Amir Smith-Marset. I think he's easily on this roster. There's no way he gets cut because he adds another element that we don't have on this team, again, which is the screen game, the running game. And again, if he can add that receiving threat, that receiving threat on the outside, in the slot, whatever, he's going to be useful every single snap, right? With, motions and stuff like that, kind of get the team on their toes because this guy can, might be on a little toss and, can give you 20 yards. So Amir Smith at number 5, and then that's a top 5. Your receiving core right now is 5 receivers deep, with the 6th guy with the potential to make an impact this season. Right, heading into the season, man, it was just tough. It was tough, like in the receiving game, because of course, as y'all know, I've been high on Amir Smith-Marset solely in the run game all off season, not in the receiving game though. So, but seeing he's taking that leap in the receiving game and knowing you can put him in the slot like a couple snaps every week. Just give Adam Thielen a break, give him a breather because he's on the older side. So give Amir Smith-Marset some snaps in the slot and see how he does because he's young, right? You're legit 5 receivers deep with everybody with different abilities, and it's very nice to see, right? So in my opinion, that's top 5. Now the number 6 position, this is where we got in a bunch of debates on Twitter. I just see a bunch of people talking about it. Fair enough, right? I'm gonna give y'all my side of who I think should make the roster between Jalen Coker and Terrace Marshall Jr. Okay. Let's kind of touch over Jalen Coker. Okay, let's touch over him. Okay, so he is an undrafted rookie from Holy Cross. And first of all, it's not like he's coming in as an undrafted rookie with no production, and we're just relying on what we're seeing right now. He's coming in with eclipsing 1,000 yards last season with 59 catches. And let's just be real, he's made plays all over the field, all training camp, and he's shown the ability to do something that this next receiver that I'm going to talk about has not been able to do his whole career, his first 3 seasons in the NFL, which is the ability to win at the line of scrimmage and make tight catches all over the field, right? So far in training camp, he's done that, right? And he's had a couple of touchdowns. Just his ability to make tight catches and win at the line of scrimmage, it's just very intriguing as a rookie. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he also comes in with production from Holy Cross. So it's not like he's coming in with 600 yards and we're expecting to see something, right? He's coming in with production and he's taking that production with him into training camp with, showing us traits. This sixth spot is wide open. We have a top 5, which is so great because, again, I did not expect us coming into training camp to expect us to have this competition. I did not expect us to have this deep of a competition at receiver. Just didn't expect it. Just did not expect it. But we are having it, and I'm so happy because last season we were literally one receiver deep. We could only rely on one receiver every single week. This season, we can legit rely on at least 2 with Deontay and Adam Thielen because I still want to see a little bit more from Jonathan Mingo. I believe he can still keep taking that leap, but I want to see a little bit more for the rest of training camp and into preseason before I just jump on that. And XL, I'm pretty confident at least by midseason he will be able to start making a legit impact. But of course, right now he's not, so I'm not going to rely on that. So I just feel like Jalen Coker brings stuff. I feel like he is more of a pure receiver. He's shown more. I have more faith, in my opinion, in Jalen Coker coming in with the ability to already win at the line of scrimmage and make tight catches all over the field. As an undrafted rookie, by the way, I feel like that 6th spot is not like what we've seen so far in training camp at the receiver position, knowing we got actual talented guys. You can rely on taking an undrafted rookie and, maybe working him a little bit, trying to get him to, put him at the 6th spot, but not play that much. And I understand why some people would say, put TMJ at the 6th position, at the 6th spot, and then have Jalen Coker be in the practice squad all season long, unless an injury happens. Then move him up into the roster. That would make sense as well. But why not just move on? Why not move on? It is what I'm saying, because Terrace Marshall has not tapped into it. We've been saying this every single offseason when it comes to TMJ. He's going to be elite. He's going to take that leap. Last season, we literally said the entire fan base was like, this guy's going to be our breakout, and did nothing to show for it last season. Nothing. I'm just, as a fan, you get tired of seeing the same things, and that's what we're seeing with Terrace Marshall Jr. And it's not like he's been blowing out the water in training camp. It's not like he's shown everything in training camp. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, it's not like he's done every single thing in training camp you asked him to do. It's been pretty close between him and Jalen Coker. I would think Jalen Coker's done more than TMJ, right? Some people would disagree, but I just don't want to just seeing people just say he should make the roster over Jalen Coker because he's shown stuff. We say this every offseason. We say he's shown stuff every offseason, and we head into a real meaningful time in the regular season. He does nothing to show for it. Absolutely nothing, right? Why not move on to the young guy who's an undrafted free agent and has actually done something as a rookie so far, and does something and is actually just a guy we don't have to worry about, right? We don't have to worry about injuries. We don't have to worry about just not performing in regular season, right? Of course, we don't know, which is the good thing, because we don't know, and just he comes in with production as well. You know what I'm saying? Just why not do something? Why not move on to the guy that is doing stuff that Terrace Marshall Jr. could not do his first couple seasons in the NFL? And, I want to see, and I see people, saying, give this man a fair chance because he's been in a terrible situation. I understand that, but they're saying he's had bad quarterback play, bad coaches. Fine, right? Okay, but I feel like the reason why he's not performing well is because it's him. The injuries that he sustained, especially his first season, and then just the ability to just it's every year that he's not been able to, get off the line of scrimmage, not been able to get open, not been able to, it's very stiff at route running, not be able to, catch the ball. All that is, in my opinion, on Terrace Marshall Jr. It's not on the coaches. It's not on the quarterback, especially because when he's out again, when he's out there, he's just not performing, right? Again, him not being able to get open is not on the quarterback, right? You could say it's on the coach because he can't get open. Fine, but again, I'm just saying, why can't we move on to the young guy who's actually shown stuff that he hasn't not been able to show, right? And it's, again, if he's blown it out the water so far in training camp, he's made a couple good catches. Like, it's not like he's done so much so far in training camp. Jalen Coker's done better than TMJ in training camp so far. But we're using those clips because we still want to hold on that hope that our second round pick from a couple seasons ago is going to tap into his potential. But it's not happening, right? And again, I hope I'm wrong, right? If we keep him on the roster and we put Jalen Coker on the practice squad, I hope I'm wrong, right? But again, we've said this every season so far that he's been a Carolina Panther and he's not done anything with it. So that's my little rant. So for today, just great competition though. Love the competition so far in training camp at the receiver position. So and we're gonna see, right? Like, did not expect Jalen Coker to have even the chance to make the roster, right? I should have known because TMJ just wasn't a guy that I loved coming into training camp at all. So I should have known that if anybody, under him made any plays which Jalen Coker has, that he was going to be gone in my eyes, right? So love the competition though so far in training camp, and it's still going, right? It's still going through preseason. So, and the first preseason game is next week. Very excited. So again, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, man. It was a very good video, just breaking down the receiver course so far in training camp. Love the competition, love the different skill sets that we've seen so far in training camp, and they, really take hone of the offense so far. I feel like as arguably the best position with Bryce Young at quarterback so far on this offense, and it's nice to see because, of course, last season that was arguably the worst position with the O-line. So hope that you guys enjoy this video. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, turn on post notifications because I'm gonna be giving content like this throughout training camp, heading into preseason, and just make sure you guys subscribe if you guys are new. And I'll see you guys next video.